Good morning, all. I hope you're well. So, I did receive some information yesterday that I do want to share with you concerning a new cycle that many of us will be entering into. It's exciting times right now. Um, but before I get into that, I do want to lay down just a little bit of foundational knowledge concerning kind of the constructs of our experience. Now, many of you may be familiar with this information, and some of it is deeply seated within science, and I won't delve too deep into that, but I'll just kind of give you the main ideas behind the concept. The reason why I'm going to do that is it's going to lay the foundation for you to understand how everything is constructed. There's a reason behind everything that we are experiencing and interacting with. Now, if I lose anybody with any of this stuff, that's kind of probably a little different than information that you may have come in contact with previously. Or if you have any comments or questions, please just post them below and I'll kind of circle back and bring clarification if need be. Or maybe kind of give it to you from a different perspective so you're able to absorb it a little bit easier. But when quantum physicists and when mathematicians really begin looking at kind of the nature and the makeup of our experience and really how everything kind of started, right? Started here. What they're finding is that reality, and that word is so kind of, but that's what we're going to use. Our reality is built upon a finely tuned system of mathematics, geometry, and quantum mechanics. And even more interesting is that when they delve really deep into the mathematic part of this kind of realization, what they're seeing is almost ones and zeros, similar to something that could be akin to a computer code. Now, what does this mean? And people are gonna be like, oh, no, she's going with simulation theory. But in a way, I am. Okay, so we need to know, though, that this simulation that we're kind of living out is divinely sparked. So no, we're not like Sims on some college kid's computer. But everything that we are interacting with and experiencing is simulated for us to learn. This can be seen upon the dimensional scales where there are certain parameters. There's kind of blocks to what you can easily perceive. You have to gain the foundational knowledge before kind of areas are unlocked to you where you can move on up to the next dimensional experience. Okay? And that's kind of like an amazing, beautiful thing when you really think about it. This stage was set for us that we were co-creators in making. You just may simply not remember it right now, but I assure you, you were. And this is all a stage for us to learn concepts, to grow, to expand awareness, and to get ever closer to source energy. It really is a beautiful, magnificent thing. So now moving on, once you have that concept, and again, it's very brief, I'm just kind of touching upon it, but within that, within just experience and kind of working through things, we also have a cyclical existence. Okay, so this is not the first time that you or I or any of us have worked through kind of like this ascension process. The earth goes through cycles. Experience goes through cycles. You will notice cycles within your own personal life as well. And it's very important to understand this concept for growth. Now, a few months ago, I received a channel specifically on the importance of cycles and being able to let go of old cycles you're catching yourself kind of reliving and working through over and over again. And it's especially so right now. I want to touch upon that just a little bit more. So not only are these error correcting codes kind of working out throughout our existence. So when information comes in, if it doesn't match exactly right, you kind of absorb it with not too much pushback. but also everything that we experience is fractalized. Now, what does that mean? So you have something on a grand scale, okay? But then you can see that grand scale repeating on smaller scale, smaller scale, smaller scale. So imagine if we took all the stars in the galaxy and we just kind of made lines connecting them, okay? You can see that same pattern playing out within the roots of a tree, right? So you have those long kind of branches that are going out. And then you can also see that within the human body, within circulatory system, the veins. All of those things are bringing vitality and life to each one that they manifest in. So again, it's a really beautiful thing to see how this is all playing out. Now, why is she telling me this? You're probably asking at this point. Well, I'm telling you this so you can understand the importance of working through cycles that are playing out. Okay? And the reason why is because those cycles were created for you, by you, to work through so you can move on up to the next level of understanding, conceptual realization, and experience. So just as the earth goes through cycles, the moon, the sun, we can see that playing out in the cosmos. But we can also see cycled experience as a collective going through different kind of concepts, ideas, realizations as well. So the collective as a whole goes through these cycles. And from information that I kind of received, this is the main cycle number 3. So this would kind of be something similar to the Mayan concept of cycled time, which time is cyclical. I know many of you know that time isn't a linear process. It's a cyclical thing, as is experience. So right now, moving on to kind of the base of what I wanted to talk about with this video, is that right now, what I've been getting is we're entering into a new cycle. Now, this is important though, because for the people who were able to work through those personal cycles that they keep kind of reliving, this opportunity is going to be made available to you to move into this new cycle. Now, keep in mind, that's not going to be open to you though until you let go of the cycles that are currently controlling you. So for many people, you'll notice kind of a pattern playing out within your life. Maybe you kind of fall trapped to entering into relationships, whether it be personal or career-based, or even a friendship kind of relationship where maybe it's people that kind of portray the same characteristics, maybe the same kind of control dramas, that sort of thing. And you wonder you wonder to yourself, why do I keep getting caught in this trap where I'm reliving this cycle over and over and over again? Well, because it's a cycle that you need to work through. So how do we work through cycles within our personal life? Well, it's very simple. You change the way in which you react to the stimuli. Right? So the stimuli is the cycle. Change the way in which you would react to it. So if you would normally say, and it's kind of shown through your past that you always kind of enter into, relationships where you're dealing with a narcissistic personality, let's say, right? And you see this kind of unfolding over and over and over again within your life. You know that situation doesn't really make you feel good. It's not conducive for growth, yet you keep kind of reacting the same way as which you've done over and over and over again. Well, when you see these patterns keep replaying, it's a sure sign that the way in which you're reacting is just giving it the same input, so then it gives you the same output being the same cycle over and over and over again. So how do we change that? We have to change the input that we give the cycled experience so that it can then alter the output it gives us, which is experience. So if you notice that's happening in your life over and over and over again, just simply change the way in which you respond. You'll notice if the cycle then continues in another area of your life. And if so, then you got to alter your reaction again. It might take a few times to do it, but you'll work it through and you'll figure it out. Now, it doesn't just have to be with a personality type. It could just be with a cycled experience in which you still manifest feelings maybe that tie you a little bit more to 3D awareness. So maybe you just continuously find yourself in these experiences that give you feelings of fear, insecurity, that sort of thing. So again, figure out how you can work through that, how you can move beyond that and change your reaction to the stimuli, the experience that you're getting. And then you'll ensure that that cycle won't then again play out for you. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, don't do actions that are just going to breathe into that and make those feelings magnified, or just maybe move it to another one. So instead of fear, now we're feeling anger, that sort of thing. Find out, figure out, connect to yourself and see how you can change your reaction to then feel feelings of a higher vibrational nature, such as love, hope, joy, those kind of things. So now, moving on, I do want to share with you an image that I made yesterday. So I have been being called to kind of be out in the sun constantly, which I'm sure a lot of you have been as well. Now in my area, it's beginning to get cold, but I do get outside as much as I possibly can. Now, yesterday while I was out there, I kind of meditated, I listened to some music, and I felt good, and I connected as much as I could. But then I did get these images that came through. So I don't know if you can see them. And yeah, that should probably be good for you to kind of visualize. And along with these images, I kept getting the words soul cycle. And I couldn't kind of differentiate if it was S-O-L or S-O-U-L. Just kept getting soul cycle, soul cycle. And the more I kind of sat with it, and on my morning walk this morning, I think it pertains to both. So I think it's S-O-L signifying sun, but then also S-O-U-L signifying your soul. And we're entering into this time right now, which I keep getting told is the soul cycle. Now again, for many of you who have worked through those old redundant cycles that keep playing out for you, this is where you're going to be emerging to. It's a time of deep awakening, not only kind of on a global collective scale, but on a personal scale as well. You're going to be able to connect to your true light, your true essence, and you are going to act as a beacon for all. I keep getting that, this beacon for all. But really, this is the transition phase that many of us are heading to right now. So do your part and connect outside as much as you can. But I also want you to connect internally to not only the warmth that the sun can provide, but the information, the downloads, and the experience that it can provide as well. So again, we're in a big time of transformation right now. And with the last message I got, it was going to be like a 3-week span where it was going to be really intense. We're about a week into that now, so expect a lot of things to be occurring over the next 2 weeks. Over the next kind of 2 months as a whole is going to be a highly transformational time as well. But for those of you who are settling into the soul cycle, the next 2 weeks are going to be just magnificent. That's what I've been getting. You're really going to be kind of tying in to your gifts. So you're going to be tying into all kinds of experiences that are going to be opening up so many different pathways of realization for you. And remember, this really is your time to shine during this time. A lot of the people, and I know I touched upon this before, but a lot of the people that were kind of working as those truth warriors, they're going to be getting tired now. And they need your light. So make sure you shine bright. And yeah, I feel like that's all I really need to share with you guys today. Again, if there was anything you didn't kind of fully comprehend, please let me know and I can clarify it for you as much as I'm able. And I can also offer different ways to view it. And sometimes that helps as well. So much love to all of you. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, keep shining bright, guys. Bye.